Hi everyone, thanks for joining me today. Today's video is focused around people that suffer back pain. I often get questioned about this all the time. Things that people can do at home, how can I help myself a little bit more? So a lot of clients, they come into the studio, they do their 1 session a week, which is great. It's definitely better than not doing anything. But what you have to realise that if you do have certain weak spots or even pathologies, if you really want to see some great results, we need to challenge and adapt the muscles every few days, so at least twice a week to really see some benefits. During lockdown, when I was seeing clients attend classes 3-4 times a week, and then they returned into the studio, what a difference. You could really see how strong they are. Things that used to challenge them no longer challenge them anymore, and they also felt better as well. So today's session I have designed just to be a short session that you can at least start with and pop into your day for those that do suffer lower back pain. Now, a lot of causes for back pain, there are so many, but if you look generally speaking, it can be that you might have tight hip flexors, tight hamstrings. If you're seated for work, quite often we shift our weight on favour one side, so the spine malaligns. The other thing too is, and probably the most common thing is weak glutes. So from sitting all day at the office or not activating them enough as well. So I always start off with a little bit of stretch and release because I think that it's better that you kind of open things up and then get into the strength phase as well. Okay, so the first part that I'm going to actually get you to do is a side stretch. Now, as I said, if you're tilted like this, if you're sitting at work, we need to open up the space between our rib cage and our hips. So this is just a very nice, easy one to do, and you can do this standing. So if you can stack your legs one on top of the other, you're going to grab that top shin. The opposite arm is going to stretch and reach up to the ceiling, and then you're going to take it across. Feel like you're reaching away. Okay, don't just take it across and leave it there. Actually feel like you're reaching and opening up the space here, yeah? Good. And then what you can now alternate this with, if you have strong wrists, you can now take both legs out to the side and do the other side, okay? So you can stretch and reach there. Really reaching up. Lift your hips up too, yeah? Okay, don't have them dropping. Lifting the hips will give you the best bang for your buck with your stretch. I'm going to swap sides. Okay, and you can do both of these anyhow, regardless. Holding onto the shin, stretch the arm up to the ceiling, reach up and take it across. Breathe. Remember that breath is important to let go through any of your tightness. Your tight spots, stretch and reach. Good. Now the other thing that you probably don't think about much is the abdominals. I've nearly forgot, we'll go into this stretch now as well. So reaching up and over, stretch and reach. Head's nice and relaxed, don't collapse through your shoulder underneath, and bring it back in. Okay, good. So we're going to give the abdominals a bit of a stretch. When we're in poor posture too, or if our hip flexors, if our lower back is in this position, your tummy gets a little shortened and tight here too. So we're just going to do a little bit of an abdominal stretch. I want your elbows out to the side here, shoulders back and down. Okay, just tuck the elbows back a little bit, and then from here, looking straight ahead, I want you to press up and arch the back. By arching the back, that tummy area is opened up, and you should feel just a gentle stretch through the tummy, shoulders back and down. All right, push that pubic bone into the mat a little bit. All right, and then we're going to come back and we're going to lie on our back. Okay, so our back is designed to actually rotate and twist. So we need to keep it flexible as well as strong. Okay, so the first part to this move, I'm going to start and give a couple of options because not everyone can do, they're not as flexible and might find it too challenging. So I'm going to start from one level and then take you to the next and take you to the next. So the first part, take your hands out a little wider out to the side, head and neck nice and relaxed, press the shoulders gently into the mat. It's going to kind of be like your little anchor point. Knees are together, feet together. I'm going to take my knees to my right, but when I do, I'm actually going to take that left foot along for the ride. Okay, don't leave it on the mat. And I'm turning my head to look in the opposite direction. We can always add a little bit of neck mobility. Stretch through that front thigh. Feel like it's lengthening or growing longer than the bottom knee. And breathe. And relax through some of that tightness. We're going to recenter the head and the knees, coming back in, landing centered. Now, a common mistake is people will shift their hips. They'll move to the side and then they take it to the side. Keep it centered, anchor the shoulders. I'm going to take my left legs to the left, turn my head to the right, and lengthen through that top knee. And breathe it out. So not only are you getting that little kind of stretch and rotation through your back, but you should also feel your side muscles, the obliques, are also getting a little bit of a gentle stretch. Now you can obviously stay with this one, recenter. Next level up is to have your feet slightly wider. I'm going to cross my right leg over my left knee, anchor the shoulders, and then I'm going to turn my head in the other direction as I press that leg down to the side. Breathe it out. And what I would recommend that if you don't feel much on one side, don't leave yourself hanging there. Just give it a short little stretch, a little movement, a bit of mobility work. Never hurts. So, and then linger longer on your tighter side. Recentering again, swapping the legs over, cross, and turn the other way. So what I would recommend, if you find out of today's session one or two things that go, oh yeah, I really needed that, that's your body telling you. Obviously you need it, but just make sure you do it. It does make a difference. You know, I see often the stretches and the range and how you get more range as you stretch along. Okay, so the next level to this one is we're going to anchor my right arm down, take my left leg straight, and with my left arm I'm going to now bring this knee over to the left. Okay? But as I'm coming over, I'm trying to resist my opposite arm here on the right. All right, I want to anchor that down. Breathe it out. I'm going to bring that back to the center, straightening the right leg, anchoring the left arm. Right knee being pulled across now. Turn the head. Breathe it out. Good, we're going to come back in and we've got one more. Now I'm going to take my left leg out straight. And I'm going to use this left hand to pull my right knee, but I want to bring it all the way over to the floor here. And you see my arms come with it here. So I'm going to use this hand to hold that knee down. And with the opposite arm, we're going to take it behind, reaching for the outer corner of your room. So a little bit of an angle here so that the chest muscle is being stretched as well. All right, and we're getting a little higher up now in behind the ribs, but you may still feel this stretch behind the lower back, your hips, into the glutes maybe, the obliques. Okay, there's a lot going on here. Breathe, and as I'm breathing out, my arm is sinking lower towards the floor and releasing. I'm going to slowly bring myself back in, straightening the right leg. Use the right arm to bring that left knee all the way over, and then bring the arm in the opposite direction. So you'll have a better view now of how that arm is on the angle. And I'm really enjoying this behind my ribs, into my chest area, and hopefully you'll see my arm is lowering as I breathe out and in, and there we go, I'm touching the floor. Again, evidence of how stretching will release tension on the joint and make you feel better. Okay, we're going to slowly come back in. All right, so we have a strap here, but you can do this without a strap. You can grab behind your leg and pull your leg up into a hamstring stretch and just flex the foot when you're in that position. I'm going to grab my strap here, you're all familiar with it, and stretch the back of the thighs. All right, flex the toe. Good. Now if you have particularly tight hamstrings, you want to make it count, give it up to a minute with this stretch. I'm going to hold a little bit briefly because I only want to make this a short little video that I know that you're going to fit in. Okay, pull it through, flex that toe, try to straighten the knee a little, okay? Or remember, you can always bend the knee forward too. Okay, I find different people will get a better stretch doing it different ways. I'm now going to swap this foot over. Okay, and stretch it out. So if you walk a lot too, this kind of thing will be really, really good. But what I can't emphasise enough is obviously the strength work that we have to do for your pelvic stability here. That pelvic stability then flows up into supporting your spine, okay? All right, as well as your core work, things like your TA and oblique muscles. Okay, so we're going to get into that. I'm going to give you a quick little 5-minute exercise workout. I would suggest that if you can run through it a couple times, by all means do it, but I'm just going to take you through one set of the exercise. Okay, so the first exercise we're going to do is a pelvic roll up. Have your feet about hip width apart, not too far away, okay, but not too close in. All right, relax the head, shoulders into the mat. Okay, pelvic floor engaged now. Draw it inwards and upwards. TA on, so lower tummy. And then press your lower back into the mat, raising the tailbone and the glutes off the mat, roll that spine up. Pause at the top and think about your glutes turning on and the back of your thighs. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, heavy through the ribs, let them sink. Keep the abdominals on, pelvic floor for control, and then relax. And again, pelvic floor on. Now, quite often what I'll see during this movement is people will widen their knees out. Get those inner thighs on gently. Keep those knees looking straight ahead as you lift your hips. And keep control as you come down. Don't wobble. Use the abdominals for control. Massage the spine as you come back down and relax. Good. Take a breath in and breathe out now as you come back down. Good control. And last one now. Lifting up. And coming back down. So we're going to get it into the glute area. I'm going to give you some combinations because everyone's at different levels. Starting off with a bridge, hands down by your side, Pull your shoulders down and under the mat. Tummy on. Lift your hips straight up for me. And you want to think of your shoulder, your hip and your knee being in the same line. What often happens is people will overarch and lift and compress the lower back, or they just bring it here, which puts a bit of pressure through the spine as well. All right, at the top, feel your glutes switch on, hold them there. Feel like they wrap in towards the bony bits of your bottom, okay? And without your knees widening, just drop your hips straight down. No roll up, no roll down. Okay, and again, lifting straight up. And remember, getting back to some of the simple moves can be just as effective as whether or not you do a harder, intensive workout on your glute where the form is lost or it becomes sloppy or not controlled. Feel the glutes and come straight back down. So you can obviously stay with that level, but the next level for this one is I'm going to get you to float a single leg into our tabletop position, okay, and then lift up into a bridge. Find that connection, back of the thigh, the glute, tummy still on, and drop down. So I'm going to do 5 on each side, okay? Try to breathe out as you go up, breathe in as you come down. 2 more. Connect and drop, connect and drop. Let's swap sides. Relax those shoulders, that tension creeps in sometimes. We're concentrating. Tummy on and lift up and back down and up and down. Do not hold your breath. Good. Now you can choose to stay with that, but the third level up is we're going to go straight into a bridge. I'm going to get you hold at the top. Think strong through the back of your left thigh, the left glute. All right, tummy, pelvic floor on, lift the opposite knee off the ground, bring it back down, and then lower. And what you want to maintain is the hips staying still. Don't let them drop. Strong on my right thigh as I now bring the left leg up, down, and drop. And again, abs on, drop. And I suppose the last thing that you could do, you could always vary this with doing one leg then the other. So I'll give you a demonstration of that too. We'll do 3 of those and then we're going to finish up on the glutes. You know, I just wanted this to be something that you can at least try to fit in. So I'm keeping the hips up now here, bringing the other leg up. Now you can stay there and do quite a few if you are able to manage to keep the hip and pelvis still. If you find that it's a little intense, just stick with one then the other, but alternate with the leg you start with. So up again. Good. Starting with the left, bringing it up. Keeping my form, right leg, back down and rest. Now I'll start with my right leg. Right leg up. Abs on. Strong through the back of the thighs. Good. We've got to wake these muscles up from sitting and drop. Now at this point I want you to hug your knees. If you have a severe disc bulge you wouldn't be doing this, but just give your lower back a little bit of a stretch, circle the legs around just once or twice. Okay. So that's a really good way to combine the glutes and the back of your thighs. There are definitely more exercises you can do to isolate those and build the strength, our side lying work, single leg work, all that sort of thing. Okay, but again, trying to keep it brief. Let's get into our core work and our obliques to finish off. Bringing one leg at a time into your tabletop position. Keep the ribs from flaring. Hands in front of your knees, taking a breath in. As you breathe out, press the knees and hands into each other and hold. Think about how the lower abdominals and your back muscles are stabilizing. Okay, they're holding that spine nice and still. Good. Now, try to keep that connection for me and bring your arms down by your side. From here, we're going to do some single toe taps. Breathing out as you go down. And don't forget the pelvic floor as well. Good, so sticking with the singles, or you can pick the pace up and keep it. Switch it on. Oh, that's working hard. Breathe. Good. All right, keep going. Watch the knee lands just over the hips, not too far forward at the hips. Oh, I can feel that working. Keep the upper abdominals working as well. Don't forget those. Good. Excellent. Give me 2 more. And rest. Hug your knees if you'd like to. If you do have a disc bulge, what you could do is when your rest phase is just take your knees side to side. Remember those back muscles are working with your tummy to support and stabilize the spine. So now again, bringing your legs one at a time into tabletop. Maintain neutral spine, arms up to the ceiling. Okay. From here, we're going to take the opposite arm to the opposite leg and add the overhead movement. Remember, the rib cage will want to flare out. I can't see in the video, but hopefully mine's staying down. Breathe out as you go into the move. Breathe in as you come out. Remember, if you hold your breath and you've got high blood pressure, you're looking at a bit of disaster. So do not hold your breath. All right, let's go one more each side for me. Okay, we're going to stay in this position. Now you can stay with the toe tap, or you can extend the leg out straight. That's going to make it harder to maintain the pelvic stability, the neutral spine aspect. And the lower the leg goes, the harder it is to not arch your back. Try and keep that pelvis as still as you can. Now I'm doing quite a few reps on the abs because this is probably the most important aspect along with the glutes to help reduce your back pain, okay? If not, eliminate it. You know, if you've just got a weak core, oh, it's easy to fix. You just got to build up that strength. We're going to go 4 more. And 4. Controlled moves. 3. 2. And last 1. Good. Now what I like about the opposite arm to the opposite leg is you start to get a little bit of the obliques in it as well, okay? But we're going to try to single those obliques out now. There's a couple of ways we can do it, all right? So the first one is to have your arms out wide, okay? And keeping your feet on the ground. This is very, very basic level. Take both knees to the side like we did before. Now I could cheat and use my legs, my body to bring my knees back in, but I actually want you to feel kind of like that you draw the lower abdominals on. But think of this side muscle here working to pull the knees back in. Taking it to the other side, nice and simple. Don't use those legs. Think about those side muscles working to reach themselves back to the mat. Next level up is to take your legs one at a time into tabletop and float the legs to the side. Using those side muscles, bring it back in. Anchor down with the back of your shoulders gently. Pull it back in. So a flexible spine is a strong and healthy spine. When you teach your spine to work under load safely and condition it, you're less likely to get injured. And then the other side. Now you can stay with that, but for some of my more advanced clients, I'm going to get you to place your hands behind your head. Just keep those legs up there. Okay. And I really like this because I feel like you isolate the obliques strongly here. I'm actually going to, so get my connection, TA pelvic floor, keeping that pelvis still. Opposite armpit reaching for the opposite knee. I'm going to pause in this position. Watch your elbows don't end up here. Okay, we don't want to use our arms. Now, I'm looking towards my left, but my right foot is going to tap down, and then I'm going to come back down and alternate. Armpit to the opposite knee. Hold, drop, back in, and down. If you want to intensify it, you can add a straight leg. And drop. So you can see I'm working in bit by bit, not all together. You could though, if you wanted to, you could do it all together and simply lift in that position if you enjoy that more. Okay, you kind of get a little bit of momentum helping out. What I like about the segmented move is there's focus up, extend, feel those side muscles kick in. Back and down, and again. This is our last exercise. Okay, and trust me, if you do this on top of your studio session, well, even if you're just one of my online clients, 2 more. This should go a long way to help with your back pain. Last one coming up. And down. Well done, guys. Hopefully you made it through to all of that. You know, like it was supposed to be a little bit shorter on the video, but when it comes to something like the back pain, you do want to get that nice stretch and release those tight muscles. You also want to build up the strength as well, mostly in your glutes and in the core area. So I hope you enjoyed today's video and I hope you find some relief from it. Have a great day.